Hey YouTube friends and family. So we're back at Pack Mountain Acres. Welcome everybody. If you're new to the channel, we appreciate you watching. So today's video is going to be about 4 ways that you can save money on pig feed. Keeping in mind that we are new pig farmers. This is our first year, but these are the things that we found that work out great for us, that have saved us some money, and we want to be able to share those kind of things with you. So here we go. Okay, so tip number 1 is to try to buy your feed in bulk. We use barrels. You can kind of see them back there. We'll show them to you when we get back to the farm. But so if you buy your feed in bulk, for us it makes it more manageable. Those barrels have lids that can be removed. They weren't very expensive. We got them at a co-op in a town close by, and they were roughly $15, I think. Anywhere from 15, maybe 17. But ultimately they were going to be something that we could reuse over and over and over again, so that they've already paid for themselves. So we asked why we were there. So to buy the same feed in bag form was going to be $9.75 a bag. Each one of these barrels holds roughly 300 pounds. So in bag form, you get 50-pound bags at a time at $9.75 a bag. That's roughly, these barrels can hold roughly 6 of those bags. So per barrel, they weigh it every time, so the price is a little bit different based on who's filling it, how full it gets, and that kind of thing. But ultimately it's been roughly $43 each time for 300 pounds of food, and we fill up 2 barrels when we go. And so far, now we've only had the pigs for a little over a month, but so far that's lasted about a month, a little over a month. But to buy 6 bags of the same food in bag form would have been $58.50. So we've saved what, a little over $13 there. So definitely buying in bulk is a lot cheaper, and I'll show you the barrels and show you how it's a lot more manageable and easier to feed from. So these are the 2 barrels that we use for feed. You can see we put them in the back of the truck on a pallet. They sit on a pallet over by the pig pen as well. The one downside to the barrels is that you have to be able to transport them and load and unload them. Loading them empty is no big deal, obviously, but when it comes back to time to bring them home full, 300 pounds of food is very heavy. So you have to have a way to get them off the truck easily, or if you have a trailer, or however it is that you carry them. So we live right next to my parents. They have a tractor that has forklift attachments. So we use that attachment, sorry if I'm moving too fast, to lift it off of the truck and over to the pig pen. And I'll show you a little bit of that here in a minute. But so that could be a downside if you have to buy it by the bag because you can't transport it. Obviously, it was only a $13 difference, but then you have to consider storage too. So one way or another, I recommend the barrels because the lid comes off. It has a closing lid. I'll show you those when they come back down. I don't want to climb up there on video, but it has a closing lid, and so it's good for storage. I mean, it'll hold one. If you just went and bought the 6 bags that we talked about earlier, one barrel will hold 6 bags, and then it makes it easier to scoop out your feed. So we'll show you that here in a little bit, but I just wanted to point that out. Tip number 2 is kitchen scraps, or if you go out to eat, bringing home all the stuff that's left on the table that you wouldn't want. Like in here we have a collection of french fries, mac and cheese, sweet potato, and a baked potato. We ate out last night, brought it home, and here it is for the pigs. Come and get it, boys. Looky there.
Paisley wants it too.
Yeah. She's like, why didn't I get any? Because you don't need those things. They're not good for dogs. But it's completely okay for pigs. There's really not much that they can't have. I don't feed them meat. And then they don't really like onions. And I'm told that if you mix it in that they might eat it, but we just haven't given them to them. Uh-oh. So yeah, have your friends and family save their table scraps. We have friends and family close by, so they bring down whatever they can. And then, you know, after dinner, anything that's not meat related, for sure, is a good supplement for them. You have to share.
You're thinking this guy's a hog. You'd be right.
Oh, you have to share. We're gonna have to get another cup.
The other two are over there eating and they haven't even noticed yet. Jeez. Getting a little more irritated now.
Tip number 3 is don't throw out food just because it gets a little bit wet. They actually like their grain a little bit mushy, especially when they're babies. So you can see that some of the food after all these big rains, you can see all the mud too. Some of that food down there is a little mushy. Don't throw that out. If it gets moldy, yes. But usually they're going to go through this food so fast that it's not going to have a chance to do that. Tip number 4, grow food on your farm that you can feed to the pigs or other livestock. These pear trees behind me were here when we bought the property. They have good pear years and bad pear years. If you talk to an expert, they would say they're kind of off and on. But this year in particular is going to be a great, sorry about the movement, pear year. You can see that there's plenty growing. Those are going to be great. They're usually ready end of August, beginning of September, and those will be great for the pigs. We also have apple trees, slowly, pear trees, or well, I already showed you the pear trees, peach trees, and we have some little plums, cherry plums, that's what they're called, sorry, cherry plums. And we just this year planted a new plum tree. So nothing, we have a rule on the farm, or I have a rule on the farm, nothing is allowed to be planted here unless it is medicinal or edible. You can get plenty of foods and flowers that are really pretty that serve double purpose. So that's definitely something we keep in mind every time we bring something new onto the farm. Let me show you something else that you can grow in your garden that'll help your pigs. So you can see that I've really been pulling from my garden buckets. But one of the things that we grow extra of is, you'll see some spinach there and some lettuce. And I actually have some leaf lettuce growing further back. And these are things that we can grow extra to kind of supplement the pig's food and give them some roughage, because they're in the pen, they aren't really getting too much grass and things like that. But we don't have any place else to keep them, so the pen that works really great for them. We'll do another episode on their pen. There's some other romaine lettuce back there that we can give them, and there'll be some different fruits and things, vegetables that they can definitely partake in as things grow. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any other tips and tricks, we'd love to hear them. We're always trying to learn new things. This is our first year with pigs, so any advice would be great. So, hope you like the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!